welcome to another lawnfawn video. It's Kelly here, and today we are so excited to be introducing our brand new die, Little Letter. This die is so cute. We're also going to be introducing our layered hearts background stencils. This is a set of 3 stencils that create the most gorgeous layered hearts background. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I can't wait to show you guys what it looks like. But first up, we're going to take a look at the Little Letter die. And this die comes with the cutest little envelope, letter, pen, and 2 different sized hearts. Now, the little envelope die creates some score lines, and to make your envelope, all you need to do is fold along those 4 score lines. You can create both an open envelope or a closed envelope, and right now we're going to create an open envelope. We're going to add a little bit of liquid glue there right to those bottom 2 kind of like diagonal edges, and then we're just going to fold that bottom part up and then just hold it in place so that the glue dries, and now we have this cute little open envelope. As you can see, you could also have it be a closed envelope like that, and you can use the little heart to be like a little seal, which is so super sweet. Now, this little letter here is great on its own, and it also fits inside of the envelope, which is such a cute look, and we're going to be showing you different ways to do this in the video today. Now, to make this pen, all you need to do is just add some liquid glue there onto the pen, and you can layer on these 2 rectangular pieces that are going to give you this look of a fountain pen that's so pretty. I really like die cutting the pen out of some holographic or metallic cardstocks because it gives it that metal look, and it looks just so beautiful and gorgeous. I mean, this little pen is so sweet. And so here you can see how you can have the little letter out, or you can have it in. You can fold the envelope down and have the little heart on top. There's so many cute ways to mix and match these. Now we're going to take a look at the layered heart stencil. So here I have a piece of cardstock that's 5.5 by 4.25, and we're going to be using this 3-step stencil. And you can see it makes these little hearts that are layered. And so you can do all shades of one color, you can do 3 different colors. It's really whatever is in your imagination. In this case, I'm going to use some pinks here. So right now I'm using some bubblegum ink, and I'm going across the hearts, and you'll see that I'm making them a little bit darker on one side and a little bit lighter on the other, or you could also do a nice solid heart too. It's really up to you. And you can peel it up, and you can see that even with just one stencil, that's just a super cute background I would use. Now, we just used bubblegum ink, and now for our next hearts, we're going to be using some Ballet Slippers, which is a nice light pink. Now, all of these stencils have etched guidelines that make it really easy to line up. You just take the etched guideline and you line it up over the heart you've already stenciled, and then now you have a perfect placement for these hearts. And now you can see how cute is this. I also like it with just 2 of the stencils because it looks like this little pair of hearts. It's just the cutest little background. And then now we're going to do the 3rd layer. We're going to use some wild rose. We'll use those etched guidelines to help us line everything up. And I love how these hearts line up. It reminds me almost of like a bokeh background or like a little party with these beautiful heart garlands layered everywhere. I just think this is just so gorgeous. It's beautiful for Valentine's, but really all year round too for like friendship or love cards. It's just adorable. And isn't this beautiful? You can make this background be either portrait or landscape, whatever it is that you need for your card. And so now we've got that piece, and I've also taken out here one of our brand new lacy rectangle stackables. I love these little rectangle stackables. And so I went ahead and took out my 6-inch ruler, and I just measured the inside of the card, and now I'm just trimming down my cute little stencil piece here so that it's going to fit right inside, and I'll have this cute little frame of the scallop around it. So there you'll see I just can layer it. I'll have the stitching and the scallop all around, and I think this is such a beautiful look. It's just gorgeous. So now that we have this beautiful layered hard background, we're going to take out our little letter die. And so here you can see we've got the little envelope here. I've die cut out of some white cardstock, and I've also die cut the little letter out of white cardstock too. And right now I'm recreating a card by Callie, so thank you so much, Callie. And there I have a little heart as well, cut out of some raspberry cardstock. So now I'm going to go ahead and fold along all of those score lines, and I'm using a bone folder just to make sure that they have nice sharp edges. And for this card, I want it to be a closed envelope. So I'm just taking here, you could use liquid glue, of course, but I'm just using some nice strong tape. I'm making kind of like an X in the center, and I'm going to fold in the inside pieces, and then I'm just going to put a little piece down the middle, and then I'm going to fold in the top and bottom pieces to create a nice little envelope just like that. Then I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue, and we're going to layer the heart on top as this cute little seal, which I just think looks adorable. Now, the next thing we need is a cute little sentiment to add onto our little letters. So I'm taking out the brand new Henry's Build a Sentiment Love, and I'm going to build a super cute sentiment that's perfect for Valentine's Day. So here I'm going to bring out Will You Be My Valentine and take out the question mark too. And so what I love about Henry's is you can make long phrases, you can stack them, you can do anything that you want by mix and matching all of the words. And so I'm going to create a nice stacked sentiment that's going to fit beautifully onto my little card. So I'm going to kind of line those all up, pick them up with my block, and we're going to stamp in some raspberry ink because that's going to match our raspberry cardstock that we did for the cute little heart seal on the envelope. And there you can see I have my little buddy here helping me out. Miles is helping me make this super cute card. So we're going to stamp out the Will You Be My Valentine, and I just think this is just adorable. So the next thing that we need to do is make this cute pen. And so I went ahead and die cut the pen here out of some gold cardstock, and then the little pen details are going to be out of that raspberry cardstock again so that everything kind of coordinates together. I'm going to add some liquid glue to those little pieces and then layer them over the pen. And doesn't it look beautiful cut out of the gold? I also really love it out of the holographic cardstock. That looks amazing too. So I'm going to layer those two pieces on just like that. And then here I'm going to take out our Scripty XOXO, which is an old favorite, but a brand new die we have for it is this outline die. And so we've cut that out of some Ballet Slippers cardstock, and then we're going to layer the XOXO out of the raspberry cardstock over top. And I love this because it gives it this great outline kind of shadow look, and it really makes it pop on the card. I mean, isn't that beautiful? I just love seeing all of these little die cut pieces together. It's just looking so cute. Now here is our brand new sweet strawberry stamp set, and I went ahead and stamped and colored and die cut some of these strawberries, and we're going to be layering these into the scene too. I decided to add some white gel pen details onto them just to kind of help them pop and help them match all of these white cardstock details that we have going on the card. So here I'm going to layer the pen over the little letters so it looks like somebody just wrote out this letter and then they're going to send some chocolate covered strawberries for Valentine's Day. I like to tell myself little stories as I make my cards, and so that's my story here. And so now we've got the little letter, the envelope, and the pen here. And now we can start layering in our chocolate covered strawberries as the treat. And this would be a super cute card to go along with a chocolate covered strawberry gift too. And so I'm going to add some adhesive to the back of the Scripty XOXO, and I'm just going to kind of layer those strawberries behind it, which I think is a super cute look. And then I'm going to add some foam squares behind this whole thing to give it a nice pop. And then we can layer that there at the bottom. And I just think this is just the cutest thing. I love all of the hearts in the background and then this fun mixture of the strawberries and the envelope. It's just so adorable for Valentine's Day. And so here I have some more Ballet Slippers cardstock, and I'm going to layer that onto a standard size card base that's 5.5 by 4.25. And then I'm going to layer the lacy stackable on top of this. And so I just love this look because the pink is going to peek through all of those little lacy pieces, and I think it's really pretty. And I like that it matches the Ballet Slippers cardstock we used on the layered hearts in the background. Now this card is all done, so super cute and perfect for Valentine's. Thank you so much to Callie for this design. So now I wanted to use the little letter in a fun rainbowy kind of way here. So I have our really rainbow 6x6 pad, and I'm going to die cut the little letter envelope here out of all of the different kind of quote unquote solid colors. They have kind of like textured tone on tone patterns of all of the colors in this. So we're going to have our red, yellow, green, blue, and purple. Now that I've die cut all of these envelopes, I'm going to start scoring all of the score lines on the envelopes and putting them together. And so what we're going to do is have this slimline card with a row of rainbow envelopes, and one of them is going to be open with a note. So I went ahead and just folded all of these score lines first, and now we're going to start putting these all together so that we can kind of close them up and make them closed envelopes. So I'm going to add some tape there into the center. I always like to do it as an X, and then I do a nice line of tape down the middle there so that I can secure the whole thing. And so I'm going to continue that process down all of my other colorful envelopes. And that's what I love about this little letter die is yes, it's very cute for Valentine's Day, but I love that it's great for any kind of year-round thing because these little envelopes are just the cutest thing. They'd be so much fun with some stamped critters or some die-cut little critters holding onto the envelope. I mean, it's just adorable. Now for the red envelope, we're going to make that be an open envelope. So I'm adding some liquid glue to those diagonal edges again, and then just layering my little piece on top, and I'm just going to make sure that's nice and dry. And now I'm going to have an open envelope along with my closed ones. Now this die has that cute little heart seal, but I really love these sequin mixed dies so much, and there's a heart in this that's so cute. And so I'm gonna die cut this out of some gold metallic cardstock and then layer these hearts as little seals onto these envelopes. So I'm gonna add some liquid glue on the back and add those on. And I really love the gold foil. I think it's a nice touch, almost like it's like a little wax seal or something on the envelopes. It's just adorable. And so I'm gonna go ahead and repeat that on to all four of my closed envelopes so that they have this cute little heart. I just love that little detail that those sequin mix dies add onto there. So now I need to start creating my slimline card. I'm going to take out one of my favorite pattern papers ever. This is the Yeti paper that has this beautiful speckle that is a nice gold foil. And we're going to die cut that with one of the slimline dies. And then we're going to start forming a fun little pattern onto this. And so here I was kind of playing around to see what might look cute, having these little envelopes layered in this fun rainbow pattern. I had these all lined up. I was ready to work on the little letter part that's going to go inside of this envelope. And so the Really Rainbow paper pack has a lined paper in it. So I thought, oh my gosh, this is perfect. So what I'm going to do is take that little letter die and just line it up with this lined paper so that it has that little piece kind of in the corner there. And it really looks like a little school book lined paper. I think this is just going to be adorable. And so I went ahead and ran that through the die cut machine, and you can see how that's going to fit in our red envelope. But I wanted to personalize this, and this is so much fun. I love alphabet sets for this, and this is actually our original alphabet set. It's Harold's ABCs. It's one of my favorites, and it's got these cute tiny little letters, and I'm going to personalize this for my son Miles. So I've gone ahead and picked out all the letters. They have the same size rectangular base, so they're really easy to line up and create your own custom phrase. And so this is a perfect Valentine for kids, especially because kids love when things are personalized. I love when things are personalized too. I just think it's so cute and sweet and such a fun way to create something special for someone in your life. So I'm going to stamp out Miles here. But of course, instead of stamping a name, you could stamp part of a sentiment on there as well. That would be super, super cute. And so I'm going to go ahead and just add some adhesive, and now I can tuck that in to the red envelope. And doesn't that look so sweet? I mean, this is just adorable. And so now we can start to work on layering all of these pieces. Now that I kind of know how everything's going to look, I can finally start adding adhesive to the back and layering them onto this gold foil speckled paper. And I like that it goes along with the gold foil heart seals that we created on all of our envelopes. So now we just need the rest of our sentiment. So I'm going to bring out that Henry's Build a Sentiment Love again, and we're going to do I love you oh so much, which I think is such a cute phrase. So we'll stamp that out in some black licorice ink on some white cardstock. We're going to die cut that with a sentiment banner die. And so we can just hold that in place with some low tack tape and then run it through the die cut machine. And now we have this perfect banner that we can add onto this card. So I'm going to be adding that there into the bottom. I like that the name is up in the upper left-hand corner, and now the rest of the sentiment will be in the bottom right-hand corner. So I'm going to layer that piece on there, and then I can just trim off any of the excess of that banner, and I just think this is such a fun way to personalize a card. So to continue on with our rainbow theme, I'm going to take some of the Really Rainbow paper. This is in the 12 by 12 size, and we're going to layer that onto a slimline card, which is going to be 3.5 by 8.5. And so we're going to layer that right on there. And now we'll have this pop of color in the stripes in the background that's going to perfectly match our envelope since we used all of the same pattern paper collection. And so here we're going to layer on some foam tape, and then we're going to go ahead and add that right onto the card. And this is just looking so cute. I love it so much. Oh my gosh. So we're just going to add that right on there. And then I kind of thought that the red envelope felt like it was missing something, not having a heart. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some liquid glue back on the back of another one of those cute little sequin mix hearts, and then just layer it onto the envelope. So it looks like they kind of left the sticker onto the envelope when they opened it, right? And so this is just so cute with all of that sparkle and shine. I just love it so much. And I also wanted to show you a version that I made with the envelopes all closed. I think this is really, really cute too. So I love taking a design and just changing it up just a little bit by putting the cute little letter in there. Now, I also wanted to show you a card that Miles made, and I thought this was the cutest thing ever. He decided to put googly eyes onto the envelopes and give them little smiley faces, and I think this is so much fun, and I can't wait to make a card just like it. And so now we're going to have a super cute card by Shari. So take it away, Shari.
So I'm using I Heart Pandas for my card today with this cute little panda couple I've already stamped and cut out. And then I'm pulling out the Candy Cane Lane Petite Paper Pack to use one of the really pretty foil stripes. I really like this aqua stripe. I know this is a Christmas paper, but it's going to look great for this kind of Valentine love card. I'm using one of the lacy rectangle stackables to cut some ballet slipper cardstock for a panel on the inside. And then I'm going to use the largest stitch rectangle stackable to cut my pattern paper to fully cover my card base. Now I need to do a little bit of stenciling on my pink piece of cardstock here to create a really fun tone on tone pattern in the background. And I'm using the Layered Hearts stencil, which is the 3-part stencil to create some fun layered hearts on the background. And for this one, what I'm actually going to do is mask off the edges so that my stenciling stops at the stitching line. So my tape's actually going to help hold my cardstock in place as well as I do my stenciling, but I just think this is a nice fun added detail to kind of make that frame of the lacy rectangle stand out a little bit more without the inking. So now that I have my masking done on all 4 sides, I can take the first stencil in the Layered Hearts background and line that up. I'm using 3 different colors of pink today, and I'm going to start out with the lightest one, which is Ballet Slipper, which is the same color as my cardstock. So this will probably be the lightest heart of the 3 that I stencil. And then now that I have that all done, I'll pull that off and I'll grab number 2. Now there's etching lines on this so you can see the hearts. You can line them up with the hearts you've already stenciled and you can get the perfect placement of this next row of hearts. For this one, I'm using some Peachy Keen ink, which is a little bit darker. So we're going to get some different shades of pink on this background. And then for the third one, I'll just line that up and I'm going to use some Wild Rose ink for this. So this is probably the darkest of my 3 pink colors that I'm using. And these will soften as they absorb into the cardstock and lighten up a little bit as well. So that's looking pretty good. So I'll pull off all this masking tape and you can see how we get that really nice sharp line at the edge of our stitching. I also wanted to add some metallic splatter to the background, and so I'm using one of the gold metallic watercolors to add some little dots of gold to the background for some subtle shimmer. And then I'll set this aside and let it dry. I really love all that subtle shimmer in the background. Next, I'm going to work on the sentiment. So I'm using the Scripty Love and the new Scripty Love outline add-on. I've cut the outline from some pearlescent cardstock and the Scripty Love from some gold metallic cardstock, and then I'm just going to layer these two together. You can see there that the outline die creates a little etching line that shows you exactly where to line up that Scripty Love. And I really love this metallic with that iridescent vellum in the background. I think it is so pretty. And then that is going to look so good layered on to that background that I created with the gold splatters. Now I've cut out a sentiment banner with some mermaid cardstock. And I am creating a custom sentiment to go below my Scripty Love using the Henry's Build a Sentiment Love set. And this is going to say, "We make a perfect pair," which I just think is so sweet. I do want to shorten up my sentiment banner a little bit. So I'm stamping this towards the left side, and then I'm just going to line the same die right back up. And you can kind of feel it snap in place on the top and bottom, and this will just trim off that right side so I get a nice short banner with the fishtail on both ends. So you can kind of see how this is all going to come together as I create all my pieces for my card. But I need something for my little pandas to hold, and there are all those bamboo and little images, but I thought it'd be fun for them to hold a heart. So I'm using the Stitched Happy Heart Geo Frame add-on, and there is this small solid heart in that die set. I cut it from some guava cardstock, and then the tiny little sentiment in I Heart Pandas that says, "I choose you," fits perfectly on this little heart, which was just a happy accident, and I love the way this turned out. So I will put this little heart between my panda's paws so it looks like they're both holding it, and I just think it turned out super sweet. So it's like they have a joint Valentine to share. So now I can assemble my card. I have all my pieces ready to go, and I'm starting out by adding that pattern paper to a card base. Next, I'll pull in that lacy rectangle, and I wanted to add some twine to add some texture to this card, so I have pulled out the coral twine. And I know you've seen me do this a lot, but I like to wrap it around my card about 3 times and then tie a bow on the left side so that it peeks out from the left side of that smaller rectangle. So I'll just wrap that around a few times. I cut a nice long length and I'm just kind of adjusting it. I ended up with it a little too short when I started. I always like to kind of check to make sure I'm tying my bow far enough over to the side so that it doesn't fall behind my rectangle, and then I'll just tie that, get it looking nice, and trim off the excess of the tails of the twine. And of course that fits perfectly. Now here's my little trick for putting foam adhesive. So I've flipped it over so it's facing down, but it's going to be in the right position, and I can see kind of where to avoid putting my foam tape. I like to make like a little channel where that twine is so that the bulk of the twine is kind of hidden underneath that cardstock. Then I can flip it over and center it up, and that twine fits in that little channel I made perfectly. So now I can add all of my cute little elements to my card, starting with my little sentiment and my scripty love. And I decided to put this right at the top of these hearts right here so that they're peeking out from behind. And then for the scripty love, I'll use some liquid adhesive because I'm using vellum and I want to make sure you don't see it. So I'm adding that adhesive behind that metallic die cut that's layered on top. And so now that adhesive is hidden behind the solid piece of that sentiment. Then of course I need to add my cute little pandas, and I'm going to use some foam squares for them as well so that they are popped up. And then finally, I wanted to add some hearts. I started with guava hearts, but they didn't stand out enough on that stenciled background. So I ended up cutting some hearts from raspberry cardstock using the Hearts and Stars skinny tag die. And I'll just add a couple of those around. You can never have too many hearts on a cute little Valentine card like this. So once I have kind of their placement using those 3 different sizes, I'll just add those with a little bit of liquid glue. And of course, this is the perfect opportunity to add some glitter on these little hearts. You could also cut these from some sparkle cardstock as well and get the same really fun effect. So I'm just adding my stickles to my hearts. And now my card is all finished, and I just think this turned out so cute with those cute little pandas, and I love that shimmery scripty love.
Oh my goodness, Shari, this card is so sweet. I love the layered hearts in the background and how the pandas are holding the heart too. Absolutely adorable. And next up, we have some incredible cards by the design team. And this one here by Audrey just blew me away. I love how she just used 2 of the layers of the layered heart stencil to create those little pairs of hearts. And then I love how she brought in an old favorite with the Just Plain Awesome stamp set and the envelope. Oh my gosh, this is just so cute. Grace shows us that I Heart Pandas are the perfect critters to combine with these adorable envelopes. I love how she die cut it out of pattern paper and how she added her sentiments. It's so sweet. This card by Elise is so much fun. She used just the letter part to create this really fun kind of postage stamp feel that I think is just adorable. This card here by Megan is so sweet, and she used our new tiny gift box Panda add-on to have him holding the little letter. Isn't that just adorable? This card here by Elena is so sweet. I love her bright hearts in the background. It's just gorgeous with those cute little paper airplanes coming out of the envelope. And then here, Mindy used that cute little letter to create fun little vignettes for each of her pandas that I just adore. This card here by Letitia is this beautiful patchwork quilt, and I just love the circle shape of the card too. And then here, this is just so adorable by Maureen. I love how her little die cut pandas are holding on to the envelope. It's just adorable and so much fun. And then here is the card by Callie that inspired me to make mine today. It is just so gorgeous. I love the strawberries with the hearts. So we cannot wait to see all of your little letter cards and your beautiful stencil backgrounds. So make sure to share them with us. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. Bye.